of clay, a mind full of play, a moment's life. That is me. That is how one of the doyens of Hindi literature, Harivansh Bachchan, described himself. And indeed, reading his poems, one feels the sense of life and playfulness. And the two aspects which would become the hallmark of his poetry in career that spanned it for about 60 years. He was the torchbearer for the Chayawad or romantic absurd literary movement. Though later in his life he came to be more known as because of his famous son Amrit Bachchan more than his poetry.
Harivansh Bachchan Srivastava was born in year 1907 in the village Babupati near Allahabad in a Kayastha family to Nayan Pratap Srivastava and Saraswati Devi. He was the eldest born. As a child, he was fondly called Bachchan because of his childlike ways and the moniker stuck with him, thus becoming one of the most recognizable names.
Harivansh Bachchan started his education from a municipal school. It was the same time that he also started learning Urdu from Kyas Pastala. Later, he pursued his higher education from Allahabad University and Banaras Hindu University in 1941. He joined the English department of the Allahabad University as a faculty and taught there till 1952. He then went to Cambridge for 2 years to do his doctoral thesis on W.B. Yeats and occultism, becoming the second Indian to get a PhD in English literature from this university. It was also during this time that he dropped Srivastava from his name and used Bachchan as his last name. He then came back to India and took up teaching, while at the same time serving some time at the Allahabad station of All India Radio.
Harivansh Bachchan is best remembered for the 142-verse lyrical poem Mahotsav, The House of Wine, which was published in 1935. This work catapulted him as the foremost Hindi poet and subsequently translated into English and a number of Indian languages. The poem became a hit and was even performed on stage. Madhushala was a part of his poetic trilogy, and the other two being Madhubala and Madhukalash. It is on this trilogy that his fame rested. In 1969, he published the first of his four-part autobiography, Kya Bolu Kya Yaad. The second part, Need Ka Nirman Hai, was published in 1970. The third, Sera Se Dur, in 1977. And the last part, Dasht Was Subhan Taq, 1985.
The series was well received and received writing list translation by Bachchan in the Afternoon of Time was published in 1998. It is now considered as a landmark in Hindi literature. Throughout his teaching career and while working external affairs ministry, and later Bachchan published about 30 poetry collections as well as another work in Hindi like essays, blogs and few songs for Hindi film industry. He read out his poem to large number of audience. His last poem, 8 November 1984, based on Indira Gandhi's assassination, was written in November 1984.
1955 में हरिवंश राय बच्चन जी दिल्ली चले गए और भारत सरकार ने उन्हें विदेश मंत्रालय में हिंदी विशेषज्ञ के रूप में नियुक्त कर लिया। 1966 में उनका नाम राज्यसभा के लिए लिया गया। 3 साल बाद भारत सरकार द्वारा उनको साहित्य अकादमी अवार्ड दिया गया। 1976 में हिंदी साहित्य में उनके योगदान के लिए भारत सरकार ने उनको पद्म भूषण से सम्मानित किया था। हरिवंश
आशाएं, दिल में है अरमान यही, कुछ कर जाएं, कुछ कर जाएं। सूरज सब तेज नहीं मुझ में, दीपक सा जलता देखोगे। सूरज सा तेज नहीं मुझ में, दीपक सा जलता देखोगे। अपनी हद रोशन करने से तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे, तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे। मैं उस माटी का वृक्ष नहीं जिसको नदियों ने सींचा है। मैं उस माटी का वृक्ष नहीं जिसको नदियों ने सींचा है। बंजर माटी में पल कर मैंने मृत्यु से जीवन खींचा है। मैं पत्थर पर लिखी इबारत हूं, मैं पत्थर पर लिखी इबारत हूं। शीशे से कब तक तोड़ोगे, मिटने वाला मैं नाम नहीं। तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे, तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे। इस जग में जितने जुल्म नहीं उतने सहने की ताकत है। इस जग में जितने जुल्म नहीं उतने सहने की ताकत है। तानों के भी शोर में रहकर सच कहने की आदत है। मैं सागर से भी गहरा हूं, मैं सागर से भी गहरा हूं। तुम कितने कंकड़ फेंकोगे, चुन चुन कर आगे बढ़ूंगा मैं। तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे, तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे।
तो अपनी कविता अग्नि पर